What's up, everybody? On today's video, we're going to talk about everything that I have found since I started metal detecting and show you what it reads up as with the Vanquish 540. Now, there's two pieces of jewelry here that are mine, not things that I found, but we're going to go ahead and test them as well. Now, this is electronically gold plated, which means it's not real gold all the way solid. Just an electronic gold-plated ring that I have. But since we're here, we'll go ahead and drop it in front of the scanner as well and see what we get. Also, my ridiculously giant Cuban link chain. Despite the fact it says it's 14K stainless steel, it's probably a gold plate over some stainless steel. This redundantly fake Cuban chain, we'll pass it through and see what it says. But there it is. We're going to go through everything that I found, which really we haven't found any gold yet, at least real gold, since we started the metal detecting hobby a few months ago. Sure, we found a lot of stuff that looks like gold, but really it hasn't been real gold yet. This has to be one of the nicest pieces right here. And actually my wife cleaned it up and kept it for herself. She liked it, she wears it, and she likes it. So even though it's not real gold, it's still a nice piece that she likes to wear. So it's still a pretty nice find, to be honest. Okay, so we're gonna start off with my electronically gold-plated ring, which needs to get cleaned up. I left it in the car by accident, and I usually would never do that, but it's back in the house now where it belongs. But you can see it's electronically gold-plated, 18 karat gold. Let's drop this in front of the Vanquish 540 and see what it does. There's the box for it right there. And we did buy a Manticore recently, but we're gonna compare these devices sometime in the future. And I'll tell you the difference between this Vanquish 540, a $500 or $600 machine, versus the Manticore, an $1,800 machine. So you can see it gives you a 23, 24, and anytime you get a number of that in that range on the Vanquish 540 and a very high beep like that, you can expect it to be a very good find. Notice the pitch, so definitely a very high pitch and a number in the mid-20 range. Definitely a good sign in the Vanquish 540. Now we're about to drop the Cuban link fake chain. Oh no. Notice how it bounces, but the general number it's throwing at you is a 6. Definitely we're looking at a chunk of metal here. Then there's that really beautiful ring that we found in Bradenton Beach that the wife likes. So let's see what that comes up. And we actually found this with the Manticore, my other metal detector. So let's see what that gives us. 16, 17, 18. Notice it's a high pitch. Very high pitch with a 16, 17. I will tell you, if you get the Vanquish 540, that 17, 16 right there, those number ranges. Now 19 is usually for steel, but when you get that 16, 17 right there, that has been a really good number for me. Next piece we're looking at is 925 with a gold plate. This has to be one of the strangest finds we've had so far. It's a $1 from Sierra Leone in Africa. So I believe that somebody buried this coin on the beach as some type of token or symbolism. Again, the same 15 and 16 range. When you see those 15s and 16s, numbers you definitely want to dig on the 540. We have a $1 US coin that is in very bad shape. It's a recent coin, kind of a hard, almost difficult to find coin. Wow. Lots of high numbers, and usually when you go into copper and brass on the 540, you're gonna go in the 30 to 40 range. You guys, an example, here is a solid chunk of brass that I found in Manatee County, and it's just nothing more than a solid chunk of brass that broke off of something and it was just laying on the side of the trail. Let's see what this rings up as. Again, a chunk of brass. So surprisingly, you can see again those high numbers, and usually on the 540, those high numbers are going to be solid silver, solid brass or solid copper. I found this on Siesta Key, and it is just looks like a brass over aluminum or gold plate over aluminum. Not sure. Maybe brass plate over aluminum. Could have had some gold plate. And this was in front of one of the towers there in Siesta Key. That gives us like. Again, you'll see those 16s and bouncing all over the place. But again, when you see those numbers between 16 to 20s, usually it's a good sign if you're on the 540. I do collect toy cars, and a lot of these toy cars have actually been found with the metal detector. Not all of them. I know that one was mine, that one was mine, and that one was mine, and that one, the three in the back were mine. So the ones in the front there and in the middle are all results of metal detecting, and there's more actually. I found the toilet truck with the metal detector. This beautiful truck with the metal detector. This Tonka truck was actually found with the metal detector, as well as the little loader. Now I think I found this one with the Manicore, but let's see what it reads when you hit it in front of the Vanquish 540. And again, we have found quite a bit of toy cars on the beaches here. Now, you'll notice that you get a wide range of different numbers, and when you get a toy car, chances are you're going to get a confusing amount of numbers. I've noticed both on the Manicore and on the 540 that toy cars are usually going to give you a lot of different numbers. So if you're on the sand and you get different numbers all at once, it could easily be a toy car. Possible costume jewelry here. I was hoping it was real, but it wasn't. But I still hold on to it, you know. But let's see what number we get here. Again, kind of inconsistent. Kind of inconsistent there. Here's a beautiful little 925. I'm gonna guess it's gonna give us a 17. Let's see. Yeah, right in that range. 17, 21, 15. It kind of throws different numbers at you, but usually there's a range of numbers you don't want to get, and we'll get to that eventually. We'll start with the good stuff first. A woman's earring, maybe gold plated, maybe it's just costume. Let's find out. Probably gold plated. You got a 17 and you got a more consistent 20 over it, so possibly gold plated. Not a beautiful piece of Mexican handmade silver, 925. Beautiful artwork. Somebody actually made this by hand. I think I found this on the high sand. Let's see what it comes up as. 925 Mexican silver. You can see an inscription on it right there. Actually, I haven't even seen that yet. But now that I'm looking at it, you can actually see an inscription right there. Looks like it says 925, so beautiful piece of art, Mexican silver. Let's see what it is. Again, kind of like a 17 for us. 17, 18. That's a good range if you get in the 540, always dig those. Another beautiful piece of 925 jewelry. Beautiful piece. I found this. I think it was on Anna Maria Island, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember where I found it, but it's 925. And what's nice about this particular piece is that I really feel like on the Vanquish 540, you hit a lot of silver. And I think it's because a lot of the other machines that are more commonly used are gonna miss stuff like this. So you have, on the 540, you got a good chance of finding a lot of silver. And it's throwing you 2019, so that's a really good range right there. Usually you're going to get a little bit lower than that on silver, so it's a good hit right there. It looks like a 21, 22, so there actually might be a little bit more substance to this piece of jewelry than I thought, but either way, it's a beautiful piece of jewelry, and another piece that the wife likes, but doesn't fit her, it's too small. So since I started the hobby of metal detecting, this is probably the only chain I've ever found has been this one. And it was a really bad day on Manatee Beach. I hadn't found anything. And I found it metal detecting on the way out back to the parking lot, almost in front of the little restaurant they have there on Manatee Beach. Let's see what it gives us. Kind of inconsistent, but it is not a real piece of jewelry. And what's weird about this piece of jewelry in particular is that when it was in the ground, it was hitting a 17. So sometimes when it's in the ground, there it is right there, 17, that's what it was hitting. So when it's in the ground, it's going to hit differently than when it's in the air. But I remember distinctly this being a 17 in the ground. So you find a lot of silver with the 540. It's good at finding silver. Here is a very small ring, very lightweight. Not sure what type of material it is, but it is very small, very lightweight. Let's see what it gives us here. Solid 14. So I'll have you guys who have the 540 give me an idea what you guys think it is. It's coming up with a solid 14, which is usually a number you would get for bottle caps. So this is a time where I dug something that I wasn't supposed to dig, and I actually found something pretty cool. And usually this is going to indicate that this would be aluminum. So this is probably aluminum, believe it or not, or some other aluminum-like metal. But normally you don't dig a 14 on this machine because you'll see in the end of the video, that's where a lot of the garbage falls under. Found this at a homeless camp, believe it or not, in the middle of Interstate 75, believe it or not. So this is very lightweight. I think it's silver or aluminum. It has a beautiful shine coming through, but it could also just be sheet metal. Let's see what number it gives us here. It's giving us, wow, kind of inconsistent. This piece of jewelry keeps intriguing me because of how inconsistent it's been. If you're watching the video, let me know what you think it is. And keep in mind, this was in the dirt, not in the sand. So it's got a little bit more of an aged look to it, you could say. Confusing piece of jewelry, I still don't know what it is. It's very lightweight, so I'm thinking it could be some sort of aluminum, but it's definitely a confusing range of numbers on that one. I'm curious what the 540 is going to give me on this piece of jewelry, because I found this with the Manticore, the other metal detector. It looks like brass, but it looks like gold. Now it was in the water, and old-timers, old metal detectors have told me, guys have been doing this for a long time, tell me that if something is gold, if it just sits in the water for a very long time, it can actually turn, pick up some type of corrosion, even if it's gold. And this was tossed up during the hurricane, so it's possible. Let's see what that number gives us. A very low 5 or 6, which would indicate that it is not. That's a weird number to get on that one. What do you guys think? I mean, if it was brass, it would hit in the highs. So it is possible that this piece here, if it was brass, you would get those high numbers, and there's no high numbers. So it is possible that this here could actually be gold despite the green corrosion. You can kind of almost make out. This is a weird piece. Also, it looks like somebody cut it. That's a clean cut right there. Not sure how this happened. It looks like a clean cut when it came off. Very strange piece. The green corrosion would make you think that it's brass, but the numbers you're getting are not consistent with brass. They're consistent with a lower number. So normally that would be aluminum foil on this machine. So again, quite a confusing piece, and you'll see already that some things that the Vanquish 540 finds are things that other metal detectors don't find. And this right here, if I was on the Vanquish 540 and I just got a low-level grunt like that, I would almost think it's aluminum foil. So, but then again, earrings do come off that low, and that's exactly what it is. So maybe it is doing its job. It is showing up in the earring range right there, very low. So you just never know with these metal detectors. Interesting ring. I think I found this one in Naples, Florida. I think I found this, if I recall, I might be wrong, but I think I found this in Naples, Florida. I could be wrong, can't remember, but I'm pretty sure this was in the Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida. Let's see what it comes up as. Ooh, baby. Yeah, buddy. That is a solid hit, which makes me think that this piece could actually be gold, even though it was in the water so long that it might have lost a lot of its... This piece could possibly be gold. Don't make fun of my nails, guys. I know I chew my nails, I'm kind of nervous. What do you guys think on this strange material here? Hitting a 22, that's a pretty good hit. You can tell at some point it definitely had a gold plate, but it's been hard to read any numbers off of it. Hard to tell. There might have been an inscription there. Hard to tell. It was in the sand, so it got eaten up pretty good. We got a big hood rat loop, and I think there's no markings on this one, so this might just be costume. Let's see what it gives us. Yeah, very low, very low, very low. Ooh, a very corroded out penny. Now normally this would give you a 60 on the manicore, 61, 60, a low 60. I forgot already what it looks like over here because it's been so long since I used it, but kind of a high beep for a copper penny. One of the interesting things that I have found, I don't know what the crap it is, but I think I found this on Anna Maria Island in 1716. Maybe consistent with silver, not sure. This one just about stopped my heart when I found it, but it wasn't a real gold jewelry as well. It's probably 925 silver or some other imitation, and it is very lightweight. Let's see what it rings up as. There it is, 16. So if you're learning something about this machine, 16s and 17s are usually going to be jewelry. Canadian currency here, a Canadian dollar, I guess. I didn't find this. I brought it back from my trip to Canada. Let's see what that would give us. Okay, kind of a mixed signal there with low tones and maybe some high tones, but interesting. The Canadian $2 coin, and that's going to have two different types of metals. Let's see what it comes up as. 17, 18. Kind of inconsistent there. Canadian quarter, very shiny, beautiful quarter. I don't think our American coins look this cool. Let's see what number it gives us. It's interesting that it falls right on the same number as silver. So that's pretty cool that it would give you that reading, especially considering I don't think it's silver. But it is cool that some of these Canadian coins hit in that range, but it's like a low grunt, it's not a high beep. So a Canadian $10 bill, and that does not give us any reading at all. It must not be metal, although it kind of looks like metal. I'm surprised it doesn't pick it up as aluminum foil. So whatever that is, it's not metallic. Isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? Canadian money is actually see-through. Kind of looks harder to duplicate than American money. A very corroded out American quarter. Let's see what that gives us. Yep. 28, 29. That's usually what you're going to get on American quarters. There's an American dime that's been sitting in the ground for a long time. Let's see what that gives us. 25, 26. That's a hard stopper right there. Very high numbers on that. So a dime can seem like it's going to be gold, but it's not. But it hits pretty high, that little dime right there. Some of the other more corroded crap that I have found here on Florida beaches. I found this with the Manicore, and I think it's silver. If I get a 17 here, it may be 925 silver. Let's see what we get. Yeah, that's right in that range. So it's possible that this is 925 silver. Not sure what it is. If anybody has any idea what the crap this is. It looks almost Asian. Maybe a drawing of some sort, but regardless, it's beeping right in that silver range. Kind of a strange find for this part of Florida is this little button here. I can't remember where I found it, but it is definitely strange for this part of Florida. And it beeps pretty high. So, not sure what type of material this could be. But that's a pretty good solid beep right there. Not bad. This little ring, which is definitely going to be silver by the tarnishing on it. Probably going to be a 17. Yeah, right in there. That's just the range for silver. You may have noticed a lot of the things we have found are silver. And this leads me to believe that this 540 is picking up a lot of stuff that other metal detectors are not finding. So if you like silver, the Vanquish 540 may actually put you onto more silver than other metal detectors, stuff they're missing. So don't underestimate the power of a 540, because it's finding stuff that I'm sure the guys with the Manicores might be missing easily. I really believe that all this is stuff that guys with other metal detectors missed out on. I wouldn't doubt that some of this stuff got hit on by other metal detectors who passed up on it, getting an inferior reading. So I do believe that the reason there's so much silver here is because this machine seems to be good at finding silver. So if you're into silver, or if you work an area where a lot of guys with really expensive metal detectors are finding a lot of gold, and you think it's over competitive, try a 540 and you might find stuff they're missing. Here it's just a stash of stuff that's not really valuable, but stuff that I found during Hurricane Idalia in Bradenton Beach. So a lot of quarters, coins, and I wonder if I should swing this whole weird bag. Notice kind of all over the place there. I found this with the Manicore Mini Lab. I think it's what it's called. Yeah, the Manicore. It's a copper ring that a woman wears to keep her ring from falling off. Kind of an interesting piece. And somebody did shine it up for me. Purely copper, I believe. So I'm going to guess, and I found it on my other metal detector, I'm going to guess copper here is going to give us high 20s, almost low 30s. Let's see what it comes up as. Oh, yeah. That's a lot lower than I thought it would be. But this here, I found it up in the Florida Panhandle, and I took it to a pawn shop, and he actually cleaned it up for me, and it got off a lot of the tarnish that was on it. But it looks like it's coming back fairly quickly. So since the guy was really cool and you know, cleaned that up for me, I decided, because it was completely black and tarnished, I bought something off of him. I got this Cuban silver. So this is a 1949 Cuban silver, and I bought this in a pawn shop in the Florida Panhandle. I've actually been looking for this, and it was really a cool find because I've been looking for Cuban silver. I think I'm going to start collecting Cuban silver. So let's see what it comes up as. And this is 20 Cuban cents, but miraculously it was silver back then. Oh yeah, and wow, that's pretty high. Yeah, that's a lot of high beeping. So without a doubt, we are looking at real Cuban silver here. Real Cuban silver, no doubt about that. It's going to hit differently than smaller silver because it's more solid, more dense. So we're not getting that 17 like on the other stuff, but it's more dense. But yeah, what a cool find. And up in the Florida Panhandle, I also ran into something else. I don't know what the crap this is, but I thought it was cool. It just looks like aluminum that's been sitting in the ocean for a long time. I'm not sure what it is, but I kept it because I thought it was pretty cool. Now they have a lot of aluminum in the water in the Florida Panhandle because of all the hurricanes over the years. But it's actually, oh my, wow, it's silver. What the crap? This could be silver. Can you imagine how old this is? I don't think it's aluminum. I don't think it's sheet aluminum. It's hitting like silver. Do you know how old this could be? What this could have been off of? The fact that this is silver is shocking. I thought it was just sheet aluminum, but it's giving us a 17, which means that this could possibly be silver. And if it's silver, I thought it was aluminum. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is aluminum or silver? If it's silver, there's no telling what this came off of if it's silver. I mean, crazy, right? That's wild. Wild stuff, man. Could it be from the Spaniards? Who knows, right? That's odd. I didn't expect it to be a 17. The fact that that is silver is wow. Unbelievable. Can't really remember where I got this from, but it's an old button. Can't remember. Maybe I bought it somewhere. I'm not sure. It looks like it might have been under the dirt. Can't remember. Let's see what it gives us. Ooh, wow. Wow, that's a high number too. Could this be silver? That's a high number. Look at that. Those are high numbers. Interesting. It says Panama Mobile on it. Interesting. What do you guys think? Could we have stumbled into ancient Spanish silver? Is that even possible? Does that look like silver to you? I thought it was just a piece of aluminum, and I kept it because I was like, well, it looks like a sheet of aluminum, and I just thought it looked cool, so I was like, let me just keep that, because I do keep little scraps and stuff. But when I see it hit 16 consistently sounding like silver, I'm like, wow, could this be old Spanish silver? I'm not sure. It definitely looks old as crap. This is just one of those things where you find it, you throw it in the bag, you don't think anything of it. Crazy, right? Could this be old Spanish silver? A bottle cap from the Florida Panhandle. And I've noticed that in the Florida Panhandle, all the bottle caps have what I think is oil from the oil spill on them. I think this is like from the oil spills. So you can see it's a bottle cap, but it's got like a layer of maybe oil on it. I really think this is from the oil spill that they had up there in the Florida Panhandle. Let's see what it gives us. A 1 or a 9. That's very strange. A steel soda lid. Let's see what that gives us. 13. Now, I will tell you that 13, it changes now that it's not in the ground, but once it's in the ground, you're always going to get a 13 on bottle cap. So if you got the Vanquish by 40, you might want to enjoy skipping on 13. More common cap, and I'm almost certain it's going to give us a 13 or a 14. Yep, 13, 14. Always skip on those. 90% of the 95, 96% of the time, if not more, is going to be a bottle cap. Strange find from the Florida Panhandle. I think it's one of those. I think it's a penny, and you press it and it turns into a football. Let's see what we get. Oh wow, solid 16, which means it's not a penny. Usually a penny, solid 16 would usually suggest silver. But it's weird how it changed color and tarnished into a black. When I first found this, it was more of a copper. I think it's that oil substance on those caps that sticks to everything and ruins it. But again, this is another thing that you're just like, what the crap is it? What could it be, right? A random sheet of aluminum. And you're getting that 16 to 24. That's kind of confusing. You'd think a sheet of aluminum would hit a lot lower than that, but for some reason aluminum hits pretty high, and maybe some of these things that I thought were silver could be aluminum, because here's an aluminum and it's giving you a really high reading. So somewhat confusing, and I actually dug this real deep. This was I found it with this machine, and it was a pretty good dig. I thought it had something good. I mean, look at that. You hit that, you're definitely going to dig that up, but it really wasn't much. All right, guys, so after being in the metal detecting hobby now for something like 3 to 4 months, I guess, these are the best finds that I've had. You know, do you find solid gold jewelry? So far, everything here appears to not be real gold. Do you find some cool, interesting jewelry pieces? Absolutely. Are you gonna find a piece of gold that's gonna make you rich? Probably not. But I can tell you that it's a great hobby, and despite the idea that people have that you're gonna become rich metal detecting, I absolutely doubt it. Now, based on some of the mysterious finds that I have, I wouldn't doubt that one day you really could strike something incredible, but it's not a job, it is definitely a hobby. And the things that you find are more likely going to just be memories more than actual treasure. I hope you guys like this video, and if you'd like to see me do the same exact video with the Manticore and compare how these machines ring up, I would definitely be glad to do that for you. I do think that the Vanquish 540 is a good machine. However, it cannot be submerged in the water completely, only up to here. And the new machine that I have now, the Manticore, I can submerge the whole thing. So it's just a different level of metal detecting. But if you're just doing it as a hobbyist, it's not a bad machine to buy, and you could actually find some pretty neat stuff. But unfortunately for me, after several months in this hobby, I still haven't struck gold. At least not anything more than gold plate.